Welcome to the Pump and Dump channel for another video. This time doing some transactions in the theoretical model portfolio, but before we get into that, I want to mention, as always, this is not meant as investment advice or recommendations for you to buy or not to buy any of the names I mention in these videos. I do own every single name in black here that's still part of the theoretical model portfolio. Of course, the amounts vary, which is due to different factors. As an example, I started this theoretical model portfolio in the middle of 2020, whereas CNX, I was already buying this in 2019. I was very positive on it, and that's why I have a lot more CNX than I have safe brokers as an example in my own portfolio at this point in time. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep this brief because I probably could not get into explaining too much about these two companies I'm going to be adding, but I'm going to mention the theme. The theme is taking money out with partial sales out of some of my top performers. And I'm doing that because I want to de-risk the portfolio. I want to move money out of companies that are very volatile and they trade in directions of one or two variables, like the asset values of a shipping company are driven by the shipping rates that they can achieve, and refining companies, the crack spread, oil and refined product prices for the inventory are kind of what drives the valuation. And because of these, these single variables affecting these companies directionally, and these companies just give that back. They are very, let's say they are not very risky, but they are riskier than the alternatives where I'm going to be reallocating this money, which is into Petrobras, which is in Brazil, and PetroChina, which is, as the name says, in China. Even though they are all over the world in different regions, but their headquarters, I guess, is in China, and that makes it a Chinese company. So the rationale, of course, here is lowering the risk, but keeping a relatively similar upside. So safe brokers, I think it's at 285. I think it's still cheap. I still believe in these numbers I put out for them when I bought them. Safe brokers, I think is worth around 450, let's say. And PBF Energy, it's achieved this $15 valuation I calculated, which was on the after the close of the 3rd of November. I've corrected this because I noticed that the actual video was uploaded on the 4th after midnight, just shortly after midnight, and that's why I put the 4th here initially, and I corrected this now, so this is now corrected, the date. So whenever you go into the historical data here, you'll find that these prices should match what is there. But yeah, having lost my trail of thought, I'll just try and get back into it. So the upside, I think, for safe brokers is about the same as with Petrobras, and the upside in PBF Energy, which I think should be now at 30, but I think long term the goal is 50 for PBF. I think that's what it should, what the maximum should be, where I would be willing to sell out everything. And you can see, like, I think now it is worth 30 at this point in time, and with PetroChina, which is at 36, I think it's worth 72. So you can see it's about the same. This is not necessarily a coincidence. It's kind of like the sector is out of favor, and therefore the smart money is able to accumulate at at a discount, and that's just the way I guess the market works until it turns back into favor, and then it starts trading to fair value and even at a premium, and then you just start selling out, and it's just the way it is. But anyway, getting to the charts here, let's have a quick look at the charts. So this is Petrobras. You can see it had a nice move up into 2007, and then it's just been going basically down and nowhere. Part of this has to do with, I think the Brazilian currency was doing well during this phase, maybe, and since I think since 2016 it's been going down, so that helped, of course, the company on their operating costs, and with world prices being in US dollars, that obviously helps. And of course, we did have the situation in 2020 where the oil price melted, and that's hurt every oil producer, even though they did do relatively well in terms of Brazilian reals. So yeah, I think getting back to 12 or 15 even is a realistic prospect, given how the oil price is moving, given how the situation is. And with Petrobras, if you just look at the charts, and I actually bought it, and then I had this thought. And I thought someone else bought it at some point, and I did check on YouTube, because I was like, I remember someone buying it, and I looked, and it was like Warren Buffett in 2003. It's when he bought it, and he had a nice move up. I think he said about 100 or so, and they sold out, and then it just popped up to 200 and something, then melted, and since then it's gone sideways, and with the 2018 high in oil prices, it's just been going down, and that's going sideways, and it looks very attractive now. So I'm very positive on it. So that's basically going to do it for this video. I'll just refresh the screens, but I don't even need to do that, because you can always go on the historical data and check these prices. And with that said, I guess I'll end this video. So before I fall asleep. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or opinions, you can leave them in the comment section if you like the content and want to see how this progresses in terms of performance over the next, I would say, 3 months, and then I'll evaluate whether I want to continue or not. I'm not really sure I'll do it to the end of 2021, because I feel like nobody really cares or is noticing. The viewership is very low, and I mean, I don't need to do this. I mean, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing very well with investing, so I don't really need to do this. But anyway, you can subscribe, of course, and then you can get notifications if you are interested to see how this progresses. But until next time, I guess I'll have to say, have a good day.